Hey, what's going on, folks? I'm going to do a quick top-down video of my Leatherman Free P2, talk about why I think it's one of the best multi-tools on the market for actual users of tools. So I'm going to get into it and compare a lot of these tools and show you exactly why I think this one is the best after several years of testing and figuring out the best setup for me. So I hope that you enjoy and learn something from this video. Once again, my name's Larry. This is Your Own Adventurer, and welcome to the channel. I do all sorts of videos. This EDC sort of video is just one part of my vast collection of hobbies. So let's get into the Free P2 and talk about some of the reasons why I love it and why it's topped any other multi-tool or knife in my carry so far. Well, the reason why I got this tool, the first and foremost reason, is because I can access all the tools from the outside. And obviously I can do it with one hand, and that was a lot of the reason why I picked it up. But even if I can't do it with one hand, I would still be happy that all the tools were on the outside. That's the main reason why I got the tool. And I have a wide range of tools. I have several different full-size toolboxes that you could check out on my channel. But if I want to carry something in my pocket and have it be utilized efficiently and effectively, this is the one that I carry, and it has proven to be, since I purchased this thing, since I purchased it about 3 months ago, it's been in my pocket every day, and I use it on a daily basis. So the main tools that I look for in a multi-tool are a knife, a set of different drivers, which would be like a Phillips. This is like a flat style. I guess it's called 2D, and then just a straight 3/8 maybe. I'm not sure what the size of that is, but it's just a flat head. And these two tools on the one side are a lot thicker, you could see, than the tools on this side. So they actually feel more substantial when you're using them. And they're on the side that has the knife on it. The knife, I will say, is a little bit difficult to open one-handed, so if you don't have great dexterity, you're not going to have a great time with this knife. And I understand that if the marketing has caught you by the way of saying it's a one-handed operated tool, and you can't operate it with one hand happily, then you're going to be upset about the tool. But for me, I've used tools all my life, and just the practicality of this one has really played a huge part of why I carry it every day. It's just so useful, and I'll go into the reason why I think it's super useful compared to like the Leatherman Wave here, just a regular knife, and this one's like a almost full kit of multi-tool engineering. But I'm going to explain to you why I think this is still the best. And then here's a demonstration of it opening one-handed. I kind of pop it like that from the top, and then it opens like so. There's some debate about people having this knife pop open, I think, is an issue on some of these frees. I'm not sure if it's the same tool, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you could go to, I think it's Texas Tool Crib's channel, and he has a video about one of these knives having an issue. It actually might be the new Leatherman series and not even this one, but forgive me if I'm wrong there. You could do your own research and figure that out. But I haven't had any issue with this knife popping out, just for common interest and having experience with it. So if that's an issue for you to worry about, it's not going to pop out. This is standard, like I guess it's called a lock back, something like that. It's got this system that locks the tool on the back. It's not magnetic. It is magnetic held down, but on the regular tools, but not on this actual knife here. This one's all tensioned or all like held in by that locking mechanism that you could see moving around there. But a great tool, and it's so easy to use whenever you need a tool, and that's the main reason why I'm making this video, and why I think it comes out on top. Even though it does have its issues and a lot of people hate the tool, I still think it's the best. So let's go into the reason why. Here is the Leatherman Wave, And this is the main reason why I hate this tool. I don't hate it, but it's not like multi-tools, in my opinion, aren't meant or made for people who actually use tools. I feel like it's a bunch of like desk jockeys that don't use tools. Forgive me if I'm calling anybody out or if you think I'm wrong, but in my opinion, I feel like a lot of the EDC community doesn't use tools. They just buy them and collect things. It's more of like a collection style community in a lot of ways. So the use of a tool isn't so important. But so if I'm out in the field and I have this on my belt, for instance, in this sheath, if I want to use the tool, I have to open the sheath, pull this thing out, and God forbid you want to use a tool other than a file, a saw, or a serrated blade, or just like the straight blade. Where is it? Right there. Which if you want just a knife, then you could just carry a folder. But God forbid you want to use one of those tools. You have to open the thing up and then remember which side it's on and then use your nail to pull it out. It's just a pain in the butt, and then you have to close it on top of that. So in the time that you have to open it, sort the tools out and then close it, the time to have used a tool in front of your coworker, or you're trying to be like the savior of the day, somebody might walk up and already have a screwdriver on them. So in my opinion, it just doesn't work for efficiency. Now I've had this tool for about 8 years, and obviously it's in great shape still. I actually just use this sheath from the P2 for this because it fits a lot better than the weird ugly black leather case or sheath that it came with originally, and it's just more streamlined and slim. But this thing has been in one of these sheaths for like 8 years now, and it's in great working order, and it's a great tool if you're not in a hurry or you don't care about the efficiency or practicality of this. But if you really break down the practicality of this, it's just not good. And the pliers are decent, but they don't have the replaceable side cutters, wire cutters, and this one actually does. So yeah, the practicality of a multi-tool in a sheath to me just doesn't add up. And for the entire existence of multi-tools prior to this multi-tool, I never thought about that. It wasn't an issue, and I just went on along with my life pulling it out of the sheath every time I needed to use it. Oh, and on top of that, if you didn't want to carry it in a sheath, you have to modify this thing and add a clip to it, which it's not engineered to be used with a clip to begin with. So if you did want to use it without the sheath and clip it, then that's a huge, not huge, but it's just an additional thing that you have to worry about. And it's still going to have the issue where you have to open it up and use the tools from the inside, and it's awkward. So yeah, the whole entirety of the existence of multi-tools up until the Free P2, I haven't really even worried about that. And if I wanted a tool that had things accessible from the outside, I would get like a half multi-tool without the plier set on it, which this one is actually one of my favorites. This is a Gerber. I can't remember what it's called. It doesn't have it on there. It's just like a blade and a couple of other tools which are very useful. And the other tools that are very useful are a full-size, bit driver, and it's actually more usable than the P2 because it's kind of offset. The only thing that I would say is that this, since it doesn't lock in, it's annoying to use because if you're putting force on that screw head, then it's probably gonna fall. But you can turn it 90 and hold it like this. But again, this thing doesn't have a clip on it as well, and it makes carrying it a lot more inconvenient because I'm not like a person that carries a ton of tools and pens in my pocket. It's just not useful for me. I don't think that's not realistic. Now, forgive me if I'm being ignorant here. I know there's a lot of field workers that have to do routine checks and whatnot that do need a pen and like an inspection light. So if you're actually working in the field where you have to use specific tools and pens like that, let me know what you think about certain tools and certain multi-tools that you use, because I'd love to hear about it. Just in my scenario, if I'm going to carry a tool and a pen, then it's probably going to be this guy and just whatever pen has a clip on it. I do have like a modified Zebra stainless steel with like a Fisher Space Pen cartridge in it, but again, I'm not trying to make a point. If I need a pen, I'm just going to find whatever pen is around to utilize. So that's kind of where my thoughts are with this. I think that the Leatherman Free P2 is just such a good tool in general for somebody who's actually using a tool. Like, I haven't had to go to my toolbox to get a screwdriver out of the fact that going to my toolbox and getting a full-size screwdriver is more effective than using this tool, which I have to pull out, and then the actual screwdriver in there is like not super efficient and not practical. So it's like kind of like a paperweight. Whereas this tool, I've found that it just works well, and the way that the tools lock and open and they're just available, it just works, and it's more efficient and practical than going to my toolbox. So that's kind of what I look for in a tool, because I have a toolbox literally right out the door. But this one sits in my pocket or on my desk or on the coffee table, and if I ever need a tool, it's gonna be what I grab, because to be honest, I most of the time only need these two tools, and they're super simple to grab from inside, access from the outside of the tool, and you have two choices, really straightforward, but they work really well. And then whenever I need a set of pliers, which I do probably on a every other day basis, these ones are really good. Some people claim that there is slack in the way that these are manufactured as far as the tolerances go, but I haven't had an issue with it, and I don't think that it's the lack of engineering behind this. I think that the tolerances involved in these pivot points are made that way so that the magnetic system is going to work efficiently, and it's actually going to do what it's meant to do. It's supposed to open with one hand, and having that system like that is, it needs to be a little bit less tight fitting. So that's my opinion. I don't know if I'm even in the ballpark there, and I know that the tolerances are more loose on the pivots with the pliers, but I still think that it has something to do with the fact that Leatherman wanted a tool that could be freely opened like this, a la the name Leatherman Free P2. But again, those are just my thoughts. Everybody has their own, but I think that maybe if you have similar workflow and you don't like the very hard process to open and access the tools in something like this, like it's in like a box right now and I can't use it. What the heck is the point of it? And even if you have it out, it's still not very practical to open. But I just wanted to share my thoughts, and let me know what you think. You know where to leave those comments, and yeah, let me know if you like this tool, if you would use it. I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to go out there and create your own adventure however you can. Spread some positivity. I'll see you on the next one. Mahalo.